Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today.
What up, shipmates? What up, future shipmates? What up, YouTube? And all the other social media platforms that you're watching me on. I'm back, A-Train with After the Watch. Yes, so I'm gonna get you guys caught up on what's been going on lately. So I just got back off of vacation, which was a wonderful time. You know, I was out at, we went out on the Lure of the Seas, and we spent 7 days out at sea. Stops in Cozumel. We also stopped in, it was Cozumel, Nassau, Bahamas, and Puerto Maya, Mexico. So it's like the Mexican side, you know, of the Caribbean. So it was pretty cool. You know, I've never been down there. That was my first time down there. Great people, great tequila. Even though I don't drink a lot, but you know, I had a great time. The people, the joy, it was festive, it was fun. I went live. If you look, Rated for All Travel, as a travel agent as well. So I went live. I was showing people how much of a good time you have on a cruise ship. You know, and before I get started with After the Watch portion, I just want to explain to you guys. When you go on a cruise, a lot of people, I tell people this all the time, but when you go on a cruise, think of it like this. You're getting 3 vacations for the price of 1, okay? So think of it like that, because when you go to a resort or all-inclusive, or let's say Jamaica, or you want to go somewhere and kick it, you're there at that location for 7 days. When you go on a cruise, you're at 3 different locations doing the same amount of time, or they're probably about within a couple, $100 or whatever, same price. You know, so that's why, you know, as a travel agent, I always tell people, if you want to maximize your money, that's how you do it. You maximize it on a cruise. But I mean, if you're adamant about going to a resort, you know, Disney and, you know, stuff like that, amusement parks and stuff, then yes, I got you back on that. But this is not about that right now. We're talking about After the Watch, okay? Military, all right? Which coincidentally, that what led me towards being a travel agent, but we'll discuss that at a later topic. I've been like kind of putting off doing this particular video because I told you guys in the last video, this one is very, very controversial, right? So if you look at the thumbnail, that's gonna explain a lot, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the story. All right, so it's the 90s, I'm with my boys. Remember I told you about my guys and everything, and you know, like I said, I haven't really went into a lot of detail pertaining to them, because each one of them was unique and their storyline is very different. But yes, the actual last story in San Diego is when I met Tartar Sauce. And we're gonna talk about Tartar Sauce the very next episode. But right now, he's not a part of the clique, all right? It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be wild. But anyway, so this is gonna be very controversial because of the fact that the nature of the way things are today and how I kind of saw it back in the 90s. But as far as the stuff that's going on with ICE and the government and deportation and stuff like that, it was the exact opposite back then. People was coming in versus people being forced out. Okay, so that's what makes it so very controversial. All right, so I'm going ahead and start the story. So it was definitely on a Saturday, because I know that, now I can't tell you, you know, it was June 6th. You know, no, I can't tell you all that. You know, like I said, it was a long, long time ago. But I do remember it vividly. It was on a Saturday, and me and the guys, NC Sleepy, myself, and Ray, at the time, we all was heading down to Mexico. We said we're going to go down to TJ, and we're going to kick it in TJ, and then, you know, come back. You know, it was a Saturday. You know, we didn't really have a lot to do that particular day, so we decided to head down to TJ, kick it down there for a little bit, you know, do a little bit of shopping, catch the trolley back, shower, change, and then if we end up going back, then we'll go back and party that nighttime, because TJ during the daytime and TJ at nighttime, 2 different TJs, trust me. Anybody in San Diego, leave a comment, let people know how TJ was back in the day. Because I don't know how it is today, but I can only tell you how it was back when I was there during that particular time. So if it's the same way it is today than it was then great. The one thing that I do know about TJ now is I think it's off limits to military. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment. Let me know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about that. I think I heard that it was off limits, you know, or I know definitely you have to have the buddy system now. But leave a comment. Let me know if I'm right or wrong about that. But anyway, back then it was wide open, man. So, you know, we decided to hop the trolley. You know, we get off at San Ysidro. I think San Ysidro. Yeah, San Ysidro is the last stop before you go into Mexico. So when we get off, it's probably about a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk. But what you have to do is you have to walk down the sidewalk, and then I don't know how it's designed now, and it's a vague memory of how it was then. But you'll walk down the sidewalk, and then you have to go up these stairs, and you kind of like crossing over the highway, and then you cross back down, and then you walk into the little turnstile. At that particular time, it was a turnstile. And then once you go through that turnstile, you kind of like in between, like on this side right here is Mexico. Then you have that little buffer in between. And then on this side is America, United States. So you have to go through that little turnstile, go through the little buffer, and then you go into TJ or Mexico. But on the way back, you have to go inside the building because, you know, on the American side, they want to check you and make sure, you know, you're not bringing back any contrabands or that you actually are legal. You know, you got to check your documents, you know, IDs and declare anything and stuff like that because you're coming back into the United States. But when you're going into Mexico, they're like, come on in. Come on in. The tequila's fine.
Hey, everyone. This is how to cross into Tijuana, Mexico from San Diego. So this is the San Ysidro crossing. This is near the McDonald's, the train trolley station, the Jack in the Box. Everybody's probably heard those 3 locations as landmarks to start. I'll put the addresses right now here. So basically here it's going to lead you to a set of turnstiles. Once you go through those, you're in Mexico. So you still have a chance to leave, to back up, to go back to your car at this point. This is Saturday, May 20th. This is about 12 noon on a Saturday, so not too bad. Just remember here, there's no line, there's no people in line or anything. Everybody just kind of walks in as they go. Once you pass this sign that says Mexico, then there are 2 lines, which I'll show you right now. So now you're officially in Mexico. You cannot turn back. Once you're in here, you'll see 2 lines, one on your left and one on your right. To the left is people that live in Mexico, Mexican nationals, and all that. And to your right, so straight, would be visitors and tourists. And once you do that, you just kind of walk along this area, and you're in Tijuana, Mexico. On your right, you'll see the line of cars going back into the U.S. If you have large luggage or heavy items, you'll be asked by these gentlemen here. If you need help carrying them, they'll carry it to the taxis for a small fee. I'm not sure what that fee is. I think it's just tips, whatever you want to tip. And other than that, there are wheelchairs in case you want to get taken to the taxis in a wheelchair. If not, you just keep walking, follow along this path. You'll see some food vendors. Sometimes there's little kids selling candy. Sometimes there's people from the various clubs at the red light district trying to get you a free taxi ride to their clubs. It's all a matter of what time you're crossing and if it's daytime or nighttime. So right now it's pretty calm. All we might see is some food vendors and whatnot. So from here, it's a straight shot down. Continue walking here and you'll see another set of turnstiles. Once you hit those turnstiles, then you're officially in Tijuana, Mexico. Oh, look at this. These are, I think they're chipmunks. You see them all over the place. So this is just the San Isidro line going into Tijuana. I couldn't do a video from Head West going into Tijuana because that is still closed. Only coming from Mexico into the US is open, and it's only open until 2 p.m. So we're still using this old San Isidro line to go in and out. So once you hit these turnstiles, you'll see a whole different little area with food and just people hanging out, taxis, asking for your business. So then from here, if you go straight, you'll hit taxis. If you go left, you'll hit some other taxis across the street. There's a pharmacy across the street. And if you go right and keep walking, you'll hit the various shops as well as eventually downtown.
So when we're going into Mexico, as we're going up the stairs, we cross over the bridge. Well, let me take a step back. On the way down, there's a big sign like that you just saw. That's a legitimate sign, okay? Because it's very important if you're driving to be aware of that, okay? And for the people that didn't see the thumbnail, I'm going to explain what it is. It's just like a yield sign that you see here in the States, but you have a man, like a father, running, okay? And then you have him reaching back, holding his wife's hand, and she's running, and she's reaching back, holding her child's hand, and the child's legs are in the air, and they're running. And it says, be aware of border crossings. Like that, and people actually trying to run from Mexico into the United States. And it's very humbling because I don't know if humble is the correct phrase to use at that time or now, for example, because the things that we have here in the United States, it's not great, it's not perfect. I ain't gonna sit here and act like it is, but what we have, a lot of people don't have, and people, quality of life, health care, and things of that nature, which we're fighting to defend and protect. People don't have that readily available, and that's why they come here. Now, mind you, as a young man in my 20s, I didn't understand. I was very naive, okay? Ignorant to the fact, I guess you could just basically say that. As an older, gray hair, grandbabies and stuff like that now, grandbaby, okay? I can appreciate and understand because I'm more cultured and I've seen things, okay? And that's where this story is leading to. That's why it's very controversial. I'm going to say what I saw, regardless of how people feel, it's the truth, So during that time frame, as a young me, I remember seeing that sign and not knowing if it was true or not, But by me being so immature, we made fun of it. We cracked jokes. I'm not proud of it, but it happened. Like I don't know why they're coming over here for. Yes, I was one of those types at that particular time. Okay, not proud of it, but that's what it was. So as we coming up the stairs and we're walking across, when I say, and I can't make this up, I'm gonna try to pull up some video of one of these crossings, and this, just so you guys can see it. But I saw it firsthand. It's probably at least on the Mexican side, 300 to 400, maybe 500 people.
It's been dubbed the Bonsai Dam. Human waves overwhelmed border guards and raced into California.
The number of Border Patrol agents was totally inadequate. So it was totally out of control.
Okay. They're all posted up on the side of the road, Now, some of them playing music. Some of them is actually barbecuing and grilling. I couldn't make this stuff up. They're actually eating and drinking and like it's a party. And that's what I was thinking at first, like maybe they're having a party or something on the damn border. I guess, I don't know what the hell, But on the other side of the highway is California CHIPS, Highway Patrol, and San Diego Police Department. And dog, the dog cars that Pop from Friday was driving. Yeah, dog catchers and with dogs in it and stuff like that. They had the dogs and then I looked up and I started seeing the helicopters overhead and everything. So, 2 people from North Carolina. That's me and NC. Then you got Sleepy. He's from St. Louis. He's from the Lou. And then Ray was from New York. Puerto Rican though. He's from New York. So when we seeing all of this stuff, we're shocked. We're like, what the hell's going on? What the hell? And the people that was walking, because there's a group of us, going into Mexico, everybody, white, black, whatever. Some military, some civilians. People go to Mexico to shop, to get medicine and stuff like that, because it was cheaper over there to purchase illegal substances, shall I say, and bring it back to the United States. Steroids and stuff like that. You can get all of that over there relatively cheap. Blood injections and all of that stuff cheap. And then come back to the States. So that's why people during the day was going into Mexico. And in turn, people from Mexico, as long as they got their paperwork together, will come to the United States to go to work, shop, and then go back to Mexico where they lived at the end of the day. They're like a 24-hour pass, stuff like that. So it was common for traffic to be moving back and forth across the border, is what I'm basically getting to, okay? So when we, as we're crossing, we see all these people, right? And so, like I said before, we're confused. We don't know exactly what's going on. So one of the guys that was behind us said, they're about to make a run for the border. Hey guys, are you tired of that same old vacation? Well, let Ready for All Travel level it up a bit. I'm Richard, your personal travel agent, and I specialize in unforgettable Carnival and Royal Caribbean cruises. I became a travel agent because of the amazing experiences I've had exploring the world. And now I want you to feel the same joy, excitement, and peace of mind every time you travel. I once had a client tell me that they didn't need my help planning their own dream vacation. They were just going to wing it. They spent thousands of dollars, and when they got home, they told me it was a disaster. Poor scheduling, missed experiences, and unnecessary stress. They said they wish they had booked with me. Don't let that be you. From cruises to hotels, theme parks to full vacation packages, I got you covered. As your travel agent, I will find the best deals and take care of every detail. So all you have to do is show up and enjoy it. Visit readyforalltravel.com, call or text me at 984-400-8020, or email me at info@readyforalltravel.com. Let's plan something unforgettable together. Again, that's readyforalltravel.com at 984-400-8020. Adventure awaits. Let's make it unforgettable with Ready for All Travel. And as always, may your path be clear, your sails steady, and your adventures extraordinary. From all of us at Ready for All Travel, cheers.